Good morning, gentle people. Welcome to day 7. Just getting out here. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I'm over in the corn hall currently. I think I'll give you a rundown of what we're going to be working on today. Basically, wallpaper. This is one project. I'm going to try to get this area through here finished today. So the maze is completed 100%. This display here is going to be our witch display. Yesterday you saw this here. I don't know if I'll get to it today, but you can see it a little bit better here. What I was talking about last night. You know, some of the paint stuck together when I had them in storage, so I got to go through and touch up paint and stuff on these, which is a small project. I don't know if I'll get to that today or tomorrow. And then over here, something I definitely have to get done today. You gotta get the coffin door set up and working. Gotta get it unlocked. Right now it's zip tied shut. So we got that going today. And the coffin door is actually a very quick fix. We'll come around here, go out the back way through the egress. And out here, I need to wallpaper this section here. Got to get my truck moved. That's the next thing on my list. Can't do much work with the truck in the way. Then I also need to get the wallpaper in out here. And then I have my big kitty which goes in there. I got to get it in, and then I've got to also get all the blow-ups, including the big kitty, into all wired up and ready to go as well. So those are going to be our projects for today. So let's get the show on the road and see where we're at. Hey guys, kind of a late afternoon update. It's going on about 3:30. We got the door installed today. I got the wallpaper up out here. I got the fencing installed for the exit, and our third blow up. And then we went and covered, there was a little rose bush here, and I was afraid when the thing deflated it would snag on the rose bush and stuff, so we covered it with burlap, and we're actually going to go back over it and cover it up with some cobwebbing and maybe some yarn or something, make it look like a big ball. The exit flap here, I got it secured so it won't blow or anything. You know, it's all secure. And then at night when we're open, I'll just unhook that stake there and people can push through it. I'm thinking also about painting exit on it on the inside too, so people can see, you know, where to go. They just see a white wall there, they won't try to go out of it half the time. I don't want them trying to backtrack through the maze. But anyway, that front corner garden, like you just saw, is done. All 3 of the blow-ups I've got up are all hooked up to one cord now. So I only have to unplug one cord instead of multiple cords, which would be nice. So that part of the haunt is finished. Now what I still have to do is wallpaper in here. And I don't know if I'll get it all finished today, but this is my next project. This is what I'm getting ready to start on, is getting the wallpaper up here in this area. Now, yesterday's vlog, I can't remember who it was, but someone left a comment and they were asking if I could show how I hang the wallpaper. So I think when I get ready to do this wall here, I'm going to set the camera up in the tripod and I'll vlog the process of it, you know, so they can see. And it was a new subscriber, so they hadn't seen the setup videos I did last year where I fast forwarded all the wallpaper hanging. But I'll go through and here in a sec for you guys, and we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding so you can see the process of doing the wallpaper. And with that, if anyone else has any questions on how I'm doing something in the haunt, let me know and I can videotape it, you know, or, you know, something along that lines, provided I have a lot of it to do. Like with the wallpaper, you know, I could do that, but if it's like, well, how'd you do your sewer pond, I'll have to walk you through it verbally. I won't be able to show you because you'll be making that type of comment after it's done. And I'm not taking it apart and redoing it. But anyway, I think you guys get the gist. If you have any questions, let me know. Hey guys, in response to the gentleman that left a comment about showing how I put up the wallpaper, this next little segment is going to kind of cover that. It's going to be a quick one, I hope. You need 4 things to do it. Staple gun, sharp razor blade, roll of tape, and I use a clear packing tape. Then of course, staples. Now, depending on what surface you're going on, for like my partition walls, I use staples. I also put scene setters up on the front of the house, and for that, I use the tape. Also, even on the wood walls where I'm using staples, I always keep a roll of this handy because every so often you might snag or rip the wallpaper, and this comes in handy for repairing it. Now, a couple other things I wanted to go over too before I start hanging. Okay, now the section I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be hanging wallpaper up through here. And you'll notice I have it's going to be a different pattern than what's here. So what I ended up doing, and you do this on all your seams, overlap. Now when I start the new sheet, I'm actually just going to be running right through here. Okay, over the top of this. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is I could run the new wallpaper first and then put this over the top of it, but I'm keeping in mind which direction my guests or customers or whatever, however you want to call them, are going. And since they're going to be going that way, I don't want them walking and see the seam here. Okay, if I take my wallpaper I'm going to hang and overlap it, it puts the seam on the back side and they won't notice it. Okay, I try to do that as well on the corners here. You know, just the way we're going this way here. They won't notice this seam here unless they're actually looking for it. Now I did screw up in here on that corner. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. We'll get real close. I forgot to do that here, and you can actually see the seam there. And if it gets breezy in here, that little bit of a seam is going to flap and catch people's eye. I should have wrapped this over the top of this, and that would have put the seam on the back side, and they wouldn't notice that. So, you know, that was a goof up on my part. And I do that every so often. Okay. To get started with this, I'm using, this is some wallpaper that I've saved. I've used it years past. It's got a real ragged edge. I do want to overlap it here. And I made sure when I did it, I have a nailing surface behind. I'm going to overlap it and give myself a little extra. And I just basically start at the top, hold it level with the top of my wall, take my handy dandy staple gun, and put one staple in there to hold it. Except for that staple, it didn't want to hold it. So we'll give it another shot. There we go. Then I go down here a couple of feet, bring it up, put a staple in there, and then just simply come back in and put staples about every 6 inches up there on that beam to secure the top. Ouch. Without snapping your fingers, I just did that. Okay, and you do that through the whole length of your wall. Now down here on the bottom, after you've done that, simply grab hold of the bottom, pull down a little bit, it gives you some tension up here, and do the same thing. On every 6 inches, stretch, staple, stretch, staple, stretch, staple, stretch, staple. And that secures it, and it's more like a drum skit now. Now back over here, where we join the seam, or where we overlap the seam, I'm going to stretch it this way, and do the same thing, about every 6 inches, all the way down. Just put staples in until that seam is done. Now once you get to this point, this is where your razor blade comes in handy. You simply go back and you trim off your excess. Trying to keep your cut as neat as possible. You don't want it jagged or sawtooth or whatever. You want as straight a line as you possibly can. And as your razor blade gets dull, you'll start getting more and more sawtooth. And then down here at the bottom, it doesn't matter if it's sawtoothed or not. Now, you do the whole top. I always do the top first. Get it all the way down, doing what I just did here. Stapling the top, the bottom, the sides, wrapping the corners, wrapping seams. And then I come back through and I repeat the process with your bottom piece. And that you overlap on top of this. The only difference I do on that one is when you hang your bottom piece on. And here I'll swivel the camera over. I'm going to take you over in the other room actually and show you the bottom wall over here. Okay, here's a section I've already done. This is part of the corn maze, and I'm going to have a different bottom wallpaper in the second area I'm doing now. But I did the same. I did the same thing as I did up on the top. Okay, and I just overlapped this on, did a bead of staples around the top, and then did the same thing on the bottom. The only difference is when you're hanging this top piece, the bottom piece, you need to make sure to check your very bottom down there, and you want to make sure you have about an inch or two extra down there. It gives you something to kind of grab hold of and pull, you know, a little bit as you're stapling it. So you end up with, I always leave about an inch to 2 inches all the way around on my walls that way. And two, if you want to reuse this the following season, you can also raise it up a hair a little bit too, so you're not hitting the same staple holes and stuff too. You know, so you can get a couple of uses out of it. Now, the seam setters, a lot of people, when they buy these, and in most places, it's like $19.99, basically 20 bucks a roll. They buy it, it's a one-time use, they rip it down, throw it in the trash. I don't do that. When I buy a roll of it, I'll use that same roll 2 to 3 seasons. And when you take it down, you got to be real careful when you're pulling it off the staples, or it rips. And just simply slide your hand behind it, and when you get to a staple, just push out with your hand a little bit, pop it off the staples. Takes a little longer to get it down, but it also saves it, and you can fold it up, put it in a box, have it for the next season. And then after you're getting 2 to 3 uses out of it, I'd say toss it. You know, because by the time you're trimming off the ends and everything else, you end up with real small sections, and it's real hard to use them. You want to spend the time taping them together, and I've done that in years past. You can, but you know, that's a pain in the ass too. But you know, you can reuse the wallpaper. Now, for the gentleman, lady or gentleman, sorry, I don't remember your name, who asked the question. Hopefully that helps. So, if you have any other questions, let me know. Good evening, all. Hopefully you guys all had a productive day. I'm done out there for the day. I got the, as you saw earlier, the big blow-up cat and the exit fenced in. Got all 3 of the blow-ups wired up. Let's see, what else? I got the wallpaper up in the Pirates area, as well as the mini graveyard. The display just passed the Pirates area. Sorry, nose itches. No, I'm not picking my nose. Still have the vampire and the witches display to do, which will be the first thing on my list tomorrow, which won't take long. Once those are done tomorrow, all the wallpaper for the haunt is totally finished, which I am looking forward to. Been having fun putting it up. I've been looking forward to getting it done. But anyway, once I get it finished tomorrow and get that mess cleaned up and out of the way, I've got chicken wire to hang up over the spider display, and then I've got to get the fences up for all the displays, and then hopefully either tomorrow evening or first thing on Friday we'll start moving props out and start actually getting some props maybe set up. Definitely going to get them moved out and put into their places, at least, if nothing else. So hopefully get going on that. I'm getting excited. I want to start putting props out. I've done enough of the prep work, it seems like. So anyway, that brings, what is it now, day 6 to a close? It's either day 6 or day 7. I think it's day 6. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy watching. We'll see you all tomorrow. Stay scary out there, people.